Hello Bookfinders, it's Thursday. Actually, technically, it's Friday. This video is going up a little bit late. I had a lot of things come up today, and then I had to work all night, so my options were do another editless video, or make this video a little bit late, and since I told you last week that I would edit this week's video, this is what's happening. Basically, what I'm telling you here is life is unfair and full of hardships, and sometimes you have to compromise. Now, contrary to what the title of this video may have led you to believe, this video is not really going to be about the importance of being earnest all that much, except for maybe vaguely, tangentially connected to last week's topic. I'm going to be continuing the conversation from last week because I think it's much more interesting, and no one's really had anything to say about the importance of being earnest, so let's move forward with this. So the non-rhetorical question that I put forth last week was, do you prefer a complex truth or a simple lie? And a surprising number of you said simple lie. And not just here on YouTube, but also on Facebook, where this conversation really originated. And I sort of get where you're going with it. Sort of. Like, okay, sure. Speaking of Thomas Edison specifically, it doesn't really matter how much of a jerk he was, or the fact that he didn't actually invent these things that he gets credit for inventing, because he's not alive, and no one from that time is alive. So none of these people are around to benefit from the fame and glory that he holds to this day, and what's happened is over and in the past, and we can't change it, so let us make Thomas Edison the hero of the Industrial Revolution, and let that idea inspire us and inform our opinion of people and the world, and the truth isn't necessarily the same thing as fact. And yeah, I get that. I get all of that. However, I think that you are not taking into consideration the fact that there are consequences for choosing the simple lie. Take, for example, Pablo Neruda and E.E. Cummings. They're both sort of well known for their love poetry. I mean, they've done other things as well, obviously, but culturally they're known for writing love poetry. However, E.E. Cummings cheated on both of his wives with prostitutes. And Pablo Neruda was married 3 times and was only faithful to one of those wives, and possibly only because she died before he got a chance to cheat on her. Now, many of you will say it doesn't matter what their lives were like, the poetry is still wonderful, and we should just take that as it is. And to a certain extent, I agree with you. A piece of art or science or anything should be taken on its own account and not sort of held to the standards of what a good or bad person their creator was. I agree with you there. However, if we build our notions of an ideal romantic love off of the ideas put forth by people like Cummings and Neruda, who could not make their romantic relationships work, maybe these ideals are fundamentally flawed, and by taking those ideals in, we're just perpetuating this problematic mentality that's never going to work, just because it's beautiful. Like, your cousin Larry might be a swell guy, but he failed out of medical school, so I'm not going to let him operate on me. It's this sort of idea. The people that couldn't make it work are the people that we set up as the heroes of these ideals. I don't think that we should champion people as heroes of their field when they, in fact, continually failed in that field, and were, in fact, very bad examples of it. And it's the same thing with Thomas Edison. Sure, he doesn't benefit from what we think of him now, but putting him up as a hero, despite the fact that he was actually not great in his field and did not invent most of the things that he gets the most credit for inventing, it sets a precedent. It says that it doesn't really matter what you actually did, it only matters what you can convince people that you did, or what you can convince people somebody else did, in the example of Nikola Tesla. And I think that informs the way that we treat the world around us. For example, look at our current political rhetoric in the United States anyway. Like with President Obama, it doesn't matter that he was born in the United States, is not a Muslim, and is not a socialist. It only matters if you can convince people that he is those things. The facts don't matter. It's just what you can convince people are the facts. And so I get how you can say the simple lie is important, because facts don't always equal truth. And our legends are important, and our stories are important, possibly more important than what actually happened. I understand that. I really do. However, these things, they did actually happen. And the fact that they actually happen means that they continue to affect us to this day. And that's what history is actually looking at. And the way that we react to those events and the fact that those events did in fact happen has a major impact on our world. And so I think that it's problematic to conflate the role of fiction with the role of history. I think they're both very important. But I don't think that they should come together. I think we should tell the truth about what actually happened. And then we have our fictions and our folklores and poetry and art and all this other stuff to talk about truth. But history should talk about reality. And that's how I feel. That's why I choose hard truths over simple lies. Okay, that's all I have for you this week. Julia, I will see you tomorrow. I feel like my argument was not as well made as I hoped it was going to be. I had a very clear idea of what I was going in here to say, and then when it came to actually saying it, just didn't really work out. I've recorded this video like 5 times, so sorry.